What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are starting a little bit of a new segment that I have not ever done before. This one essentially is going to be antique flea market finds. So something I've wanted to do for a while is, we have a lot of flea markets and thrift stores and antique stores here in Florida, and all the time I see really cool golf clubs that are, some would call them relics, some would call them, from time capsules. I mean, it's really cool, some of the stuff you can find. And yeah, I mean, a lot of it, against the will of my wife, a lot of it I want to come home with me because, when you see an old club, it might invoke really good feelings of nostalgia. Sometimes you see a club and it reminds you of your first set you ever had, or a set you had when you played in a tournament, or it's just amazing what some of the looks and designs of old golf clubs can do. And I am definitely, as a golf ball addict and as a golf addict, I am here for it. So something I want to do is go out, find really cool golf clubs that are old, share them with you guys, and also have them for future videos as well. Comparisons, seeing if they should go in my bag or not, seeing how they hold up against the new clubs, how much advancement in technology have we really had in 10 years, and be able to put, again, the numbers that I give you with golf balls, and be able to put that with the clubs as well. So it's just more data, it's more cool stuff, but I have some great finds. I just went to the flea market yesterday and found a variety of cool stuff, and I wanted to share it with you. I will be using these in upcoming videos, but yeah, here we go. Let's show you what I got. All right, so starting out hot, this is actually a Nike NDS blade iron from 2011. The NDS actually apparently stands for Nike Distance Series, so this was a player's distance iron back in the day. This is actually a 3-iron model of it, but gosh, it just looks so good. It has this beautiful chrome on the back. You can kind of see it shine in there. It's just gorgeous. The Nike logo is iconic. I'm not usually a Nike logo guy, but boy, when it's on a golf club, it just looks sexy. I absolutely love it. My first iron set was actually Nike Slingshots. Selling those was one of my biggest regrets in life. I absolutely hate the fact that I sold those, but I can now get more of them through this. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll have a full set again, but really cool iron. What I really like about this also is if you look at these grooves, I'll show you up close, someone either painted them or maybe they came standard. You guys can help me in the comments. I don't know 100%. But this is actually teal in the grooves, which again, teal's a beautiful Florida color. Love that. It's actually just a little bit of a bonus to getting that. As far as the grip goes though, whoo, boy, this grip has seen some stuff. Holy cow, this looks weathered. It looks like it's been outside for a while. It would definitely need to be re-gripped. And I would also wonder about the shaft as well. If it's been out in the weather for a while, but still gorgeous iron, definitely worth the price I paid for it with the head for sure. All right, so next up, this one was just, when I saw the look of it, it was sleek, sexy, had to buy it. This is the Srixon Z965 blade. As you can see here, really good, in great condition actually, you can see. Love the design of it. It just, again, can I hit blades? No, I cannot. This is actually a 6-iron, but boy, it just looked so sleek. It looks in great condition. The face is not battered at all. Definitely going to be interesting to do some videos and testing. This came from around, I think, 2016, 2017. Reviews from what I've seen have been amazing. People really loved them back in the day. They said they were awesome feeling and cut through the ball like butter. So we will test that, but definitely would love to compare it to my 6-iron just to see how it is. It has a great feel to it. Grip-wise, pretty standard Pride grip, but it is in good condition. I wouldn't really need to get it re-gripped unless I wanted to, but comes with a Project X shaft, and definitely worth the price I paid, in which I know I said that already. I'll go ahead and full disclosure, price I paid, I bought, I think, 8 clubs for $100, so I think I got them for like $12 a piece or something like that. It was, I have to count them here in a second, but it was like $12 a piece essentially, so I got a pretty good deal on all of them, to be honest. Now this next one did surprise me quite a bit because when I saw it, my first thought was, oh my goodness, this is like brand new. This must be a relatively recent model, and that's this one right here. This is an ironwood. It's actually a hybrid. It's an old hybrid. It is the Adams DHY Pro. It's a 21 loft, but when I saw it, what really stood out to me was the fact that, the face is just, let me see if I can get it on the face here, is just pristine, as you can see. There's really no marks on it at all. The back of it, as you can see, like this here, I'm just trying to get it in focus. It just looks brand new. It hardly looks like it's even been touched by fingerprints or anything. Was really sleek, loved how it looked, has a beautiful, beautiful shaft on it. This is actually a tailor-made Fujikura 82 grams. Hold on, let me see. I think it's a regular. Yeah, regular flex. Beautiful shaft that's probably worth well more than I paid for the club, which, like I said, was $12. Incredible. And then, of course, the grip, an amazing Golf Pride grip. This is actually a new grip. It does not look like it's been used at all. I mean, this thing, I think, was bought in 2013 and just sat for 10 years. I think maybe someone bought it and then couldn't play golf anymore. I can't wait to test it, see how it does against the hybrids I have. It's going to be really cool because it's in pristine condition. It's even got hybrid on the side there, still got the serial number, nothing scratched off, nothing's faded. This was actually taken care of. This was more like garage kept. Now this next one I bet a lot of you have seen before, but I've never done a review on it. I always did want to try it, and that is this square strike chipper essentially. So this came out 2017, 2018, and their whole shtick was, hey, we're gonna make a club that is extremely easy to use a putting motion and just chip and make it a lot more consistent. It has an upright lie, really weighted, thick, square face, square bottom. It's kind of golf for dummies, essentially, is what I call it. But it's also, and I don't mean to disrespect by that, I just mean it's essentially easy to pick up and play and use. No, you can't get it to spin or check up or do a lot of stuff, but if you're a beginner in the game, or you're someone who's inconsistent with chipping, the idea of this is just to be able to, you know, have the ball there, putting motion, and get a consistent flight and a consistent roll every single time. So I will be doing a review on that. I know it's well late, but hey, better late than never. I actually have seen some other reviews, and they've been pretty positive about it. I think even Rick Shields did one and was relatively positive about it. So if anything, it could be something my mom would like to use. She has an old off-brand chipper from God knows when, so this actually might be really good for her, so we'll see. All right, next up is a wedge again. This is actually a Ben Hogan Edge CFT wedge, really good condition. The face is not too beat up. I think these came out in 2008, 2009. For being that old, it's in relatively good condition. It still has the original Ben Hogan shaft in there. The grip is the original Ben Hogan grip. It's actually in really decent condition for being that way. So again, another club that I think probably sat for a while and was only used a couple rounds. The main reason I got this one is I do want to see if I could add it to my bag. The way my wedges are is I have a pitching wedge that's 44 degrees, which is very, very low lofted for sure. I mean, you normally, an average pitching wedge is 47, 46, 48, somewhere in there. 44 is definitely strong lofted for sure. Well, then my gap wedge is 50, so I have this kind of gap in between there, and so I was recommended by someone at work, hey, you probably should find something to fill the gap. Now this is a 46, so it doesn't fill the gap perfectly, but it is hard to get a 47. It is. It's hard to get a 47. So I was hoping with this one and it being a little older, maybe it would act like a 47. Maybe it wouldn't come off as hot, and maybe it would just be in that realm. So we are going to test it, and we'll see if it is worthy of getting in the bag or not, but only way to find out. Now, what's interesting also about this club is you might notice it does have the E on it. I don't know why, but essentially Ben Hogan did have an option to come with their set. They had an E wedge and an F wedge. I'm sure with more research I can figure out why they did that. If you know, let me know in the comments, but I have no idea why E and F were in there, because they also have a sand wedge and a gap wedge and stuff, but I think F is the gap wedge. Interesting, an interesting way to go about it. I'm glad we now have G for gap, and I guess there's also A for gap, so I don't know. I don't know. All right, and the last three I picked up were all putters. I have been struggling with my putting for a while. I'm looking for something to give me a little bit of confidence, so I got three really old style putters that essentially I'd love to test out, see if they are worthy to go in the bag, but also just kind of try them out as well. Old putters are something cool. I know there's a big market for them. The first one we have here is actually an old Acushnet. I don't know how to correctly pronounce that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But essentially, this is the umbrella company that owns Titleist. So I know it's really popular back in the day. This is the 5A model. It is the Bullseye model. I know these are actually really sought after looking it up. People are trying to sell them online for about 40 or 50 bucks. I got it for 12. I think I got it for a good deal. But my thing is, I love how it looks. I love the old style look here. Polished. It almost looks like brass, but I'm not exactly sure what it's polished with. The way it's oxidizing and coming up green, I would think it's brass. But if you know what it actually is, please let me know. Completely flat face on front. I don't know. We'll see how it is. One thing I really love is the grip, though. It's an old leather grip, still in really good condition, still sticky. It has a nice flat on the top here where I can get my thumb. I love it. I love how the grip feels. That's something I could really love. And I like how the weighting is, too. So can't wait to test that one. The next putter I have is actually a Wilson model. This is a Wilson Augusta model, as you can see there. Really, the main reason I got this one is I'm not a super big fan of the look or any of that. The weighting itself is just okay also, but it's really the fact that it was a Wilson Augusta and I was kind of taking a chance on it. I didn't know if it was rare, if it wasn't. I don't know when it was made. I don't really know much about it. I just know that it's cool. I mean, it's got the green paint in there. It kind of is something I wouldn't mind having on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, people, I think, would look at it and think it's cool. And so even if I end up not using it, it was definitely worth to add to the collection. And the one I'm most excited about as far as putters, this one's actually a Wilson Signature Sam Snead Dynamic Swing Putter. Really, this has always been my favorite look of a putter. I was a big Payne Stewart guy growing up. I love the old style vintage look of golf. And whenever you see those old black and white and you can see them putting with stuff like this, I've always liked how this looks. As far as how rare this thing is or when it was made, couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you, but I love how it looks. I've been putting with it just to try it out. It's fun. It's interesting. It has the original Wilson grip as well. It's in rough condition, but it's still kicking. It's still there. It might be a little too skinny as far as a grip for me on a putter, so I'd hate to have to replace it if I liked it, but it's the original grip. I assume the original shaft too. I'd have to look to be sure of that, but it's really cool. I think it would also be cool if it's not worth a lot of money and it's not worth, you know, as much as I think it is, it'd be cool to kind of, you know, do some paint in there and kind of redo it up and make it look fancy again. I think that'd be awesome. Maybe sand it down a little bit here in the front and get some of this gunk off. But I don't know. Again, one of my favorites. I can't wait to test it. This is something, to be honest with you, this is something that if I found it in my bag, like if I really did well with it and I had to put it in my bag, I'd be pretty happy with that. Like, I love how this looks. I think it's so unique and interesting, kind of, oh, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. So that's what I've hauled. If you guys have any ideas for videos you want to see, awesome. I already have some planned out in my head of what I'm going to do. You know, testing the clubs, testing the blade iron, blade versus regular, just seeing how they perform. So it's just more content for us. As always, guys, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Next up, we have a couple more golf ball reviews, and I know you guys have been asking for the Legato. I promise it is coming. I'm actually getting ready to test it right after this video is filmed. So it's coming in the next couple days, guys. I'll see you then.